Dear students, today we will start the physical properties of the alcohols, but before going to that, we have to give one method of preparation, another method of preparation for that alcohol from hydrolysis of ester. So, ester that is having the general formula R C double bond O O R dash R C O O R dash, that is the general formula for that ester. That is treated with NaOH. So, there is the formation of RCONA and R dash OH. So, this bond will break by the addition that is base hydrolysis, that is otherwise known as saponification. So, RCOONA plus R dash OH. For example, if we take ethyl acetate CH3COCH5 plus NaOH, that gives rise to CH3 COONA plus C2H5OH, that is the formation of that alcohol. So, this is the base hydrolysis of ester, that is otherwise known as saponification. There is the formation of sodium salt of the acid, and ethyl alcohol or the alcohol will be produced. Next one, we will go for the physical properties of that alcohols. So, the lower members of alcohols, these are colorless liquids and higher members are solids. Lower members, for example, methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, propyl alcohol, all the lower members of alcohols, they are colorless liquids and higher members are solids. And if we will analyze regarding the first member, that is methyl alcohol CH3OH, that is nerve poisonous. That is CH3OH, that is known as nerve poisonous, that will damage the central nervous system. And ethyl alcohol C2H5OH, ethyl alcohol, that is nerve stimulant, that is used in alcoholic beverages. Ethyl alcohol, that is used in alcoholic beverages, that is nerve stimulant, and in excess that is nerve depressant. If we will take excess amount of that ethyl alcohol, then that will suppress the nervous system, and that will lead to the sleepiness. So, if we will take methyl alcohol, that is nerve poisonous, we are taking the alcohols in alcoholic beverages, not your methyl alcohol, rather that is your ethyl alcohol. If we will take that methyl alcohol, then that will damage the central nervous system and that leads to death. But ethyl alcohol, that is taken in alcoholic beverages, that is nerve stimulant, and in excess, that is nerve depressant. That will in small amount if we will take, that will stimulate the central nervous system, and in excess that will suppress the central nervous system, that may leads towards sleepiness. For example, if we will take, that is beer that contains 7 to 12%, that is C2H5OH, ethyl alcohol. Beer that contains 7 to 12% of that ethyl alcohol, that is nerve stimulant. And brandy, whiskey, rum, etc., that contain about 40 to 50% ethyl alcohol. Rest part, that is your water, that contain 40 to 50% of that ethyl alcohol. So, beer that contains 7 to 12% of ethyl alcohol, that is directly taken without addition of that water. But if you take that brandy, whiskey and rum that contain 40 to 50% of that ethyl alcohol, that is not directly taken, that is added with water, and peg is prepared by taking small amount of ethyl alcohol and ice, cold drinks, etc., that is added, and peg is prepared and that is taken. So, brandy, whiskey and rum that contain 40 to 50% of that ethyl alcohol that is not directly taken, and that is taken by the addition of that water. That is means that is diluted, and if we take that is 100% C2H5OH ethyl alcohol, 100% of ethyl alcohol, that is known as absolute alcohol. Absolute alcohol. 100% ethyl alcohol, that is known as 100% ethyl alcohol, absolute alcohol. 95% ethyl alcohol, that is known as rectified spirit. That is rectified spirit. 95% ethyl alcohol, that is known as rectified spirit. And if we take that is ethyl alcohol, absolute alcohol, that is absolute alcohol. Absolute alcohol means that contain 100% of ethyl alcohol, that is added with petrol, that is known as power alcohol. That is known as power alcohol, that can be used for the, instead of that petrol we can use this mixture, that is absolute alcohol and petrol, that is known as power alcohol. And if we will take that is denatured spirit, what is the meaning of that denatured spirit? Ethyl alcohol, that is that can be used as alcoholic beverages, but whenever that ethyl alcohol that is added with some amount of methyl alcohol, that is acetone, ethyl alcohol that is added with methyl alcohol, acetone, pyridine, etc. This mixture, that is known as denatured spirit. That is known as denatured spirit. The nature of that alcohol as alcoholic beverages, that is damaged, that cannot be taken. So whenever ethyl alcohol that is added with methyl alcohol, acetone and pyridine, that is made unfit for drinking. This mixture that is unfit for drinking, therefore that is known as denatured spirit. Mixture of methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, acetone and pyridine, that is known as denatured spirit, that is made unfit for drinking. It cannot be taken, although that contain ethyl alcohol, that cannot be taken as alcoholic beverages. If we will take it, then that will damage the central nervous system. Methyl alcohol that will damage the central nervous system, that may lead to death. So these are the different type of alcohols. So beer that contains 7 to 12% of that alcohol, that is used as alcoholic beverages, but methyl alcohol that is not poisonous. And if we will take that is rum, brandy, whiskey, etc., that contain 40 to 50% of that ethyl alcohol. So they are used as alcoholic beverages after the addition of that water, means after dilution. 100% ethyl alcohol that is treated as absolute alcohol. 95% ethyl alcohol that is known as rectified spirit. The mixture of absolute alcohol and petrol, that is known as power alcohol, that can be used instead of that petrol. So what is the meaning of that denatured spirit? Denatured spirit means that is made unfit for drinking. Ethyl alcohol, which is used in alcoholic beverages, that is made unfit for drinking after the addition of that methyl alcohol, acetone and pyridine, that is made unfit for drinking, and this mixture that is known as denatured spirit. So next we will go for that solubility test. So the alcohols are soluble in water. Alcohols are soluble in water due to hydrogen bond formation. Alcohols are soluble in water due to hydrogen bond formation, and this trend that is primary greater than secondary greater than tertiary alcohols. Primary alcohols are more soluble than secondary, more soluble than tertiary, because this tertiary that is having more symmetrical structure, which has the ability to form less amount of that hydrogen bonding. So, why the alcohols are soluble? For example, if we take HOH, that is the formula for that water. HOH, that is the formula for that water, and if we take ethyl alcohol, HOC2H5, ethyl alcohol, H, that is water, HOC2H5, that is ethyl alcohol. So, water, alcohol. So, there is the del plus, hydrogen atom del plus, oxygen atom, that is del minus. There is the hydrogen bond that is given by dotted line, dipole interaction. So, the force of attraction which binds hydrogen atom of one with highly electronegative element of another because of dipole interaction given by dotted line, that is known as hydrogen bond. So, hydrogen bond, because of that formation of that hydrogen bond, alcohols are soluble in water. So, these are the alcohols are soluble in water. So, because of hydrogen bond formation, and this hydrogen bond formation, that is maximum in case of primary, then secondary, then tertiary, because tertiary alcohols are more symmetrical, and because of that more symmetrical nature, they have the more boiling point, that is melting points. So, the solubility trend and boiling point trend, that is same. So, primary alcohols are more soluble, having more boiling point than second and tertiary, because tertiary alcohols are more symmetrical. Next we will go for the melting point. This is the melting point trend. Tertiary greater than secondary, more, that is more than the primary. So, melting point trend, that is tertiary is more symmetrical. Tertiary, that is having more symmetrical structure. For example, if we will take the example of this kind, that is the example of this kind, that is butanol, 1, 2, 3, 2-methyl propan 1-ol, and 1, 2, 3, that is 2-methyl propan 2-ol. So, this is less symmetrical, more symmetrical, and this is more symmetrical. So, because of more symmetrical nature, that can well fit into the crystal, and because of that reason, that is having more boiling point. Sorry, that is having more melting points. That is having the more melting points. So, the boiling point trend is 1 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 3 degree, and that can be explained on the basis of that hydrogen bond formation. But melting point trend is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary, because tertiary alcohols are more symmetrical. Just mark it, butanol, C4H10O. So, that is that compound that can written in this manner, in this manner, in this manner. C4, they are having the general formula or common composition C4H10O, C4H10O, that can written in this manner, in this manner, in this manner also. So, this compound that is having more melting point as compared to this one, as compared to this one. This is because of more symmetrical structure. So, this is regarding, that is physical properties, and if you take the alcohols, they have the ability to form solid addition compounds. For example, calcium chloride, if you take calcium chloride, that is added with methyl alcohol, then the formation of solid material, calcium chloride, that is added with methyl alcohol, there is the formation of solid material, just addition compound CaCl2.4CH3OH, there is the formation of this additional compound. So, this is regarding the physical properties of these alcohols. Next we will go for this different chemical activities or chemical properties of that alcohols. Regarding the chemical properties of alcohols, so alcohols, they are having the general formula bond O, bond H. So, we will explain the different properties of alcohols on this basis, that is reaction that is shown by that H part, reactions that is shown by OH part, reaction that is shown by that R part. So, on the base of 3, that is reaction due to H part means there is a cleavage of that oxygen hydrogen bond. The reaction due to OH part means there is a cleavage of that carbon oxygen bond, and reaction due to R part. But beside this, there are some other properties. First we will discuss these other properties, and then we will go for that reaction due to H part, OH part and R part. So, the first reaction, first one, that is catalytic. Catalytic dehydrogenation. Catalytic dehydrogenation. Catalytic dehydrogenation means D means removal of hydrogen in presence of catalyst. Removal of hydrogen in presence of catalyst, that is copper. Copper at 573 Kelvin, that is 300 degrees centigrade. Copper at 573 Kelvin. Copper at 573 Kelvin. So, that is catalytic dehydrogenation. So, copper at 573 Kelvin, that will act as dehydrogenating reagent. So, we will explain the catalytic dehydrogenation by taking 3 different type of alcohols: primary, secondary and tertiary. So, this is one of the tests which will distinguish between primary alcohols, secondary alcohols and tertiary alcohols. For example, CH3, CH2, OH, that is the formula for that primary alcohol. OH group is linked to that carbon atom, which is directly linked to another carbon atom. And if we take the case of the secondary, alcohol, OH group is linked to that carbon atom. This is the primary carbon atom, second carbon atom. OH group is linked to that carbon atom, which is directly linked to another 2 carbon atom. And if we take that is tertiary, OH group is linked to that carbon atom, which is directly linked to another 3 carbon atom. So, if we take primary alcohol that has been prepared with copper at 573 Kelvin, all these are treated with copper at 573 Kelvin. So, in this case, copper has the ability to remove hydrogen. So, the hydrogen atom that is removed from that H from that OH group and H from that carbon atom to which the OH group is linked. So, that is the removal of hydrogen. Catalytic dehydrogenation means removal of hydrogen in presence of catalyst, that is copper at 573 Kelvin. So, the OH group, hydrogen atom from that OH group and hydrogen from that carbon atom to which the OH group is attached is removed as H2. AH and AH that is removed as H2. Then what is the product left? CH3, CHO. So, there is the formation of aldehyde CH3, C double bond OH. There is the formation of that acetaldehyde CH3CHO. CH3 bond CH2OH that has been treated with copper at 573 Kelvin. Copper at 573 Kelvin. So, OH part of that, H part of that OH group and H part from that carbon atom to which OH group is attached, that is removed in the form of H2. So, the rest compound, that is CH3, CHO, that is acetaldehyde. So, whenever primary alcohols they have been treated with copper at 570 Kelvin, acetaldehyde will be formed. So, next one, this is the example of that second alcohol. So, this second alcohol that has been treated with copper at 570 Kelvin, then what will happen? the OH from that OH group, H from that OH group and H from that carbon atom to which the OH group is attached, that is removed. H and H, that is removed as H2. Then what is the rest part? CH3, C double bond O, that is CH3. So there is the formation of the compound CH3, C double bond O, CH3 plus H2, acetone. So there is the formation of that acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, H and H, that is removed as H2. And whenever the tertiary alcohols, they have been treated with copper at 573 Kelvin. Tertiary alcohols, they have been treated with copper at 573 Kelvin. There is the formation of that alkene. OH part entirely, because there is no such H in this carbon atom. H and H, that is, there is no chance of removal of that H and H. So this is not dehydrogenation, rather this is dehydration. So OH part of that, entirely OH part and H part from the adjacent carbon atom, that is removed as water. OH and H, that is removed as water. So there is the formation of carbon to CH2 double bond. OH and H removed as water. So we have to insert double bond here. So this is not dehydrogenation, rather this is dehydration. So this is one of the tests to distinguish between primary, second and tertiary alcohols. How to distinguish? When primary alcohols, they have been treated with copper at 573 Kelvin or copper that is 300 degrees centigrade, there is the formation of aldehyde, acetaldehyde, aldehyde will be formed. And if you take the secondary alcohols, when secondary alcohols, they have been treated with copper at 573 Kelvin, there is the formation of that acetone, that is ketone. So primary will form aldehyde, secondary will form ketone, and if you take tertiary, OH and H, OH part of that group entirely and H from that adjacent carbon atom, that is removed as water. OH and H, that is removed as water. So there is the insertion of double bond here. So there is the formation of that alkene. This is aldehyde, this is ketone, and this is alkene. Then how to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols? By the catalytic dehydrogenation. So whenever the primary alcohols, they have been treated with copper at 570 Kelvin, they are the formation of aldehyde. Second alcohol, they have been treated with copper at 570 Kelvin, they are the formation of ketone. And whenever the second tertiary alcohols that has been treated with copper at 570 Kelvin, there is the formation of alkene. This is not dehydrogenation, rather this is dehydration, that is removal of water. But in this case, there is the removal of that hydrogen, but in this case, there is the removal of water. So this is one of the tests to distinguish between primary, second and tertiary alcohols. So in the coming class, we will see the other methods of difference between primary, second and tertiary alcohols.